Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you could strum through a song called Read My Mind by the Killers. And we end up cabling this on 1st fret to kind of match the recording, but we're going to start out on a C major chord. And when we play C major, first finger goes to the B string on the 1st fret, second finger on the D string on the 2nd fret, third finger on the A string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a C major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the C on the intro, we're going to be going to a G major chord. And one way to play G major, you can do first finger on the A string second finger on the low E string third finger on the high E string 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now another way to play the G major would be doing second finger on the A string, third finger on the low E string on the 3rd, and the pinky on the high E string on the 3rd. And what that does is it kind of opens you up to play something called a G suspended chord, where you can kind of play the first finger on the B string on the 1st fret, second finger on the D string 2nd fret, third finger on the low E string 3rd, pinky on the high E string 3rd, and that sounds a G suspended chord. And then you can kind of resolve that to the G. So we have kind of the C, da, da, G sus, G. But then at the tag end, kind of where we start singing, actually, we could kind of start supporting that chord progression with a strum pattern. Now, one way to do it would be just doing downs, and if you did 8 downs on each one, that could kind of work. And if you take the flat of your right hand, you can kind of get a muted quality out of the chords that way. C, G sus, G, C, C, G sus. A lot of times with a song like this, I like to use something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we took the C and just tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down. So you want to do that a lot with your right hand to get used to it. If we tried that through that intro verse progression, we'd have C, down, up, down, up, C, down, down, up, down, G sus, down, up, down, up, G. We go into our main verse progression where we start on C major and then we go to an A minor chord and we play A minor. First finger stays on the B string 1st fret, second finger stays on the D string 2nd fret, and the third finger goes to the G string on the 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A minor chord, and it sounds really sad. And then from the A minor we'd be going to an F major chord. You could do that as a bar F major. We'll talk about an easier way to play this. But you do your first finger across the entire 1st fret, second finger on the G string 2nd fret, third finger on the D string 3rd fret, and the pinky on the G string 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, then that sounds an F major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Or you could substitute in something called an F major 7. We play F major 7. First finger goes to the B string 1st fret, second finger to the G string 2nd fret, third finger to the D string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds an F major 7, and it sounds really happy in a groovy way. So we kind of and then from there, then we go to the G sus and then the G. So it's almost like a little variation of our intro verse. We got C, A minor, F, G sus, G major. So we could do that with the downs. We'd have the C, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the A minor and the F are kind of halving, and the G, G, C, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, A minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, F, 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or you could try that with the strum pattern. And you have C with a down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, F, down, down, G, G sus, G, down, down, up, down, C, down, down, up, down, A minor, down, down, F, down, down, G sus, down, G, down, up, down. And we basically be repeating that until we get to our chorus part. And on our chorus, we start on the F, and then we go to C, and then we go to G major, and then we do another G major, and then we repeat that back to F, and then a C, and then a G major, and another G major, and then we go back to F, and then a C, and then we go to a G major chord, and then we go to an E major chord, and we play E major. First finger goes to the G string on the 1st fret, second finger on the A string on the 2nd fret, third finger on the D string on the 2nd fret. If you strum those together, that sounds like an E major chord and sounds really happy. And then we go to an A minor chord, and then I guess it's sort of a debatable chord. I think you could go to E minor or G major on this next change. So you can do first finger on the A string second, second finger on the D string second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds like an E minor chord and it sounds really, really sad. Or I think you could kind of play a G major on that chord change. And then we go to F major, and another F, and then we go to G major, and then another G major. So if we tried that with kind of those downs, we'd have F, C, G, G, F, C, G, G, F, C. But then we got the G, E major, A minor, E minor, F, G, G. Or you could try that with your strum pattern and have F, down, up, C, down, up, G, down, up, G, down, up, F, down, up, C, down, up, G, down, up, G, down, up, F, down, up, C, down, up, G, down, up, E major, A minor, G, F, down, up, F, down, up, G, down, up, G, down, up. And from there, we're going to be repeating a lot of those parts with variations. Now the weird part is to play along with the Killers, instead of starting on a C chord, they're starting on a D flat major chord. So to play along with the recording, what you want to do is take a capo, and if you put the capo on first fret, then now your C is a D flat major, your G is really an A flat major, and your F is really an A flat major, and your A minor is really a B flat minor, and your E major, when you get to it, is really an F major. But if we took it from the very beginning, you may want to just kind of block those chords kind of for the C, G sus, G, C major, to kind of work that intro part. G sus, G, or you could do the down, so through that part, C, C, G sus, G, or you could do the down, up, and have C, down, up, C, down, up, G sus, G major, and then from there we'll be going into our main verse progression. So we have our C, A minor, F, G sus, G, C, A minor, F, G sus, G. Or we could do that with our down, up, and we have C, down, up, A minor, down, up, F, G sus, G, C, down, up, A minor, down, up, F, G sus, down, up, G, down, up. Then we basically be repeating that until we get to our chorus. And we have our F, down, up, C, down, up, G, down, up, G, down, up, F, down, up, C, down, up, G, down, up, G, down, up, F, down, up, C, down, up, G, down, up, E, down, up, A minor, down, up, A minor, down, up, F, down, up, F, down, up, G, down, up, G, down, up. Or if you're digging on the downs through that part, you can do the F, C, G, and probably what you really want to do is kind of take little pieces of what we're talking about and figure out how you're going to cover it. And even switching between these two kind of patterns right now actually could be kind of a cool thing. To our verse part. Now something else I think about adding to the song though is bass notes, and a lot of times on that first down of the down, up, you can throw in bass notes for the chord. So on the C you can do the A for your bass, on the A minor you have the A string for your bass, on the G G and the G sus, you'd have the low E string for the bass. And then on the F bar, you'd have the low E string for the bass. And on the F major 7, you'd have the D for the bass. And on the E major, you'd have the low E string for the bass. So we tried our next verse with a bass down, up, down, up. We'd have C with an A bass, down, up, down, A minor with an A bass, down, F with the bass, down, G with low E bass, down, G with low E bass, down, C with an A bass, down, down, A minor with an A bass, down, F with low E bass, down, G with low E bass, down, G, down, C with an A bass, A minor, F, G, C, A minor, F, G. And then if we took that idea and tried it through our next chorus, then we'd have our F, C, G with low E bass, G with low E bass, F with the bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, G with low E bass, F with the bass, C with an A bass, G with low E bass, E with low E bass, A minor with an A bass, E minor with low E bass, down, F with the bass, down, down, then we'd be going into a solo part that kind of starts on A minor, and then we go to G, and then we go to F, and then we go to C, but then there's a really quick walk. Oh. Hello? Oh. So then from there, then we go into a solo part where we start on A minor, and then we go to G, and then we go to F, and then we do a C major. And if you were adding in basses on this next chord, you could go to G major, but you could use the A string for the bass, and that's called G/B. So in that one spot, you may want to do C with an A bass, G with an A bass to kind of help lead back to the A minor. And then we go to G, and then we go to F, and then we go to G, and then there's a big build up on the G. So through that solo part, if we did bass down, up, down, up, we'd have A minor with an A bass, G with low E bass, F bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, G/B with an A bass, down, A minor with an A bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, F with bass, down, down, G with low E bass. So you may want to kind of make that kind of a big build up on those last couple G's to lead into our last chorus, which is kind of a variation actually of our other choruses. So we tried that with a bass down, up, down. We'd have F with the bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, G with low E bass, down, down, F with the bass, down, down, C with an A bass, down, down, G with low E bass, G with low E bass. And then we go to A minor with an A bass, G with low E bass, F with low E bass, and we got the C with an A bass, G/B, A minor. Then we go back to our verse for our outro. So we're kind of back to that C, A minor, F, G. And you may want to kind of take all those little pieces we're talking about and kind of figure out a good way for you to kind of cover it. Or you can mix it up. And that's the basics of how you can strum through Read My Mind by the Killers. So good luck!